So myself and Ashley have been together for almost over 6 years now, and many people are surprised when we say that we don't live together. We don't have the perfect fiance living in the apartment together routine. We don't wake up every single day next to each other. We don't bring breakfast in bed to each other. And while all those things would be nice right now, I would say, we're saving that for when we actually make the decision to get married and, of course, move in with each other. Now, because we don't live with each other, we've had to develop as individuals separate routines, and they look a lot different from each other. I do one thing in the morning and she does another thing that works for her. But the goal that we both have is to be sure that our routines, as we are separate, work towards the goals that we have for our relationship and ourselves individually. So we give each other full room to be able to develop whatever works for us on a daily basis to meet that goal. The goal of this video is to not only just show our routines and what we do in the morning to jumpstart our day, but to motivate and inspire you to develop your own routines as they are necessary for you staying organized, for you developing better mental health, for you to have better clarity, and ultimately for you to take those steps towards the things that you want to get out of your life. So whether that's you doing that personally or in a relationship, you living separately like me and Ashley are, the principles and why we do the things that we do to jumpstart our day remain the same.
And for me, that starts the night before. I have a marathon in 3 days, so I've prioritized optimal level sleep through red lights in my room and night shift on my computer if I am doing work after dark. I set the conditions for the next day by prepping everything that I need based on my schedule for the next day, which is always subject to change. I always wanted to have some type of morning routine, night routine, but I was always motivated by the wrong thing. I usually did things because I saw entrepreneurs or just like people online doing them. So I wanted to imitate what they were doing, thinking that would help me out. For the longest time, nothing that I was doing or imitating was working for me. I was trying to play copycat in a way. And really for those times in my life where I was trying to establish these new routines, it just didn't fit. And it wasn't the right season for me to try to do the things that I was seeing. I didn't have a routine probably until earlier this year. And the only reason that I was able to stay consistent in the routine that I established was because I had so much on my plate. I was working in the family business, starting a new job, doing an Ironman. So I had no choice other than to get up early in the day. So that way I was able to do everything that I was working on at the time. And over time, I kind of fell in love with the process and the results that I was getting. And that led me to being able to become, like, I would say, a morning person over this past year. With all that being said, and with me being able to do this routine over this past year and become a morning person, it doesn't necessarily get easier, and it's still difficult for me to wake up in the morning and not hit snooze. So to make it a tad bit easier on myself, I've developed a couple of steps starting my morning that makes it easier to get my body going, get warmed up, and start stacking some wins for the day. The day starts at 5:15 a.m. I leave my watch with my alarm and my phone in a place where I have to get up to stop it, which is right next to this bright light, which is next to this bottle of water. I use this to hydrate. It seems very robotic, but it's almost like a warm-up for my body. From there, I do a bit of cold therapy and a cold shower for 1 to 2 minutes, and then a quick self-care routine, but this is usually just washing my face, brushing my teeth, using a moisturizer, and putting on some sunscreen. It takes me about 15 minutes, and after this, my day is in motion. I immediately get to work, and the first 1 to 2 hours a day are devoted to working in the family business. We've been running a company over the past 8 years, so I enjoy being able to contribute on my end to build something for our last name.
Now, at this point in my life, I'm at a place to where I'm essentially working for myself for the time being. I'm transitioning jobs. I have basically the whole day to work, which there's things that I need to do on a daily basis that I would consider like a job. But my schedule is much more clear from those obligations that I've had for the past 3 years. Now, with that being said, it's been very, very important for me to actually develop a routine, not only in my mornings to jumpstart my day, but also in my work. So that way, with the time that I do have, I can make progress and actually check off tasks that I need to ultimately be productive. A lot of people would consider having a full day to themselves as plenty of time to work towards their goals, which that is very true. That can be the case. But I've found it hard for myself in the past to actually use that time to be productive, because sometimes I don't know where to start, what I should be working on, how I can eliminate distraction, and all that comes with time to work on yourself. So I've developed a focused work routine that works for me, so that way I can actually make that progress during my day with eliminating most distractions and keeping my mind clear and focused on one task at a time.
Focused work is the foundation of anything that I do. In a season where I'm creating my own schedule, it's easy just to use that time to just be distracted or consume media at high levels. I learned deep work years ago when optimizing my routine at my former job, so I've taken that same application into my own personal routine. I always start by getting rid of distractions, so I put my phone out of sight, out of mind. I use a timer to work in focus blocks of 90 minutes and noise-canceling headphones to block out any distractions from the environment. One goal is set for each session. Once finished, I leave my phone away and place my mind on nothing. So I either walk or just stare at a wall to rest from my focus block. I do this so I don't open my mind to any more attention loops that could possibly distract me in my next session.
Honestly, there's not much more than doing that over and over and over again. The biggest key to this entire routine is that when I'm not working, or I take the breaks in between my 90-minute blocks, that I should rather say I'm resting properly. It's easy to pull up my phone and get distracted or watch a movie in between, but that just opens way too many loops in my head to be able to focus for what I need to do. And as I already mentioned, my creative work and my writing and the things that I'm building right now are very, very important, and they take a lot of mental strength. So it's important that I use those periods in between to rest properly, whether that's staring at a wall, whether that's going on a walk, or that's sitting outside like I am now. The whole goal is to give the mind a rest, so that way you have all the mental power to be able to go into that next block and really, really be productive. We're really trying to put effort into our videos and shoot them much differently than we have before, and it's really required me to be honest with myself and get in order a routine that's going to work for me to be able to bring you guys the best videos when I'm editing and when Ashley is planning to film. So every little thing that I'm doing in my day is working towards that specific goal. So now that you guys have seen my routine and everything that I do on my end almost every day, I think it will be cool to see what Ashley does to start her day.
Which is looking a little different, especially because yesterday was my last day of college. So my morning routine moving forward is going to be completely changed. Either way though, my end of the weeks are always very, very relaxed in the morning. I like to wake up at 9:30 instead of 8:30 because I give myself a little bit more room to sleep in. When I'm having like a full work day, like whether I'm doing schoolwork, which I'm going to be doing today, or if I'm filming, I love to, even if I'm staying home, I like to get ready completely, like hair, makeup, put on a nice outfit, even if it's like a chill loungewear outfit, but I love to be put together. It makes me feel more productive. It just helps me give a more positive start to my day because I'm sitting in my pajamas all day. I'm staying in my bed, like, I'm just gonna be real with y'all. As you guys know, me and Zach do not live together yet, so by watching this vlog, you'll see that we're doing separate routines, separate things, but one of the main reasons for that and just establishing set routines is that with the career that we're going into, or like that we've chosen for ourselves. It's really, really important to have structure and direction, especially when you're working from home, because it's very, very easy to get distracted in your home, in your comfort, in your room. So having a structured set routine, whether it's waking up at 7 a.m., whether it's waking up at 9 a.m. and starting your day, it's just really, really important to the productivity. Jack wakes up at 5, y'all. Correction. That's just something that really works for him. But for me, 8:30 is what works for me. Overall, how you use your day is the most important thing when it comes down to whatever time you wake up, whatever time you go to sleep. You just want to make sure you're using the time that you're awake and functioning to be productive and do at least one thing or a small action that's going to help move you towards a long-term goal. So one thing that I'm going to do today that's going to help me, that's small but it's going to help me move towards a long-term goal, is that I have a lot of assignments due for finals literally on Wednesday, which is 4 days from now. But something about me is I cannot procrastinate. So today I'm going to be mapping out all my assignments, making outlines for all the papers that I have. And even though I'm not finishing a whole assignment in one day, it's one step that's helping me reach my final destination. But y'all, first I'm about to eat breakfast after doing makeup. And my breakfast is bomb. I'm about to show y'all how I make it because it's very, very good. And y'all can thank me later. So I ran out of things to make for breakfast, y'all. I have no ripe avocados. I have the bread. I have no coffee, so we're gonna go to Dunkin'. Very laid back, as you guys can see. I ended up going to Dunkin', we went to Trader Joe's, like got a couple food things here and there. But overall, one thing that's really helpful for me is just having a slower, relaxed start to my morning. And then once I get into the afternoon, that's when like it's more fast-paced, more rapid work happening. It just really gives me a peace of mind when I start my day off slowly and like build upon that before getting into like the harder, more difficult stuff. But at the end of the day, your routine should be based on what works for you. It took me a while to find a routine that works for me personally. Like I tried the waking up early thing. I tried starting my morning off with like heavy work and then doing more of a relaxed afternoon. But I realized for me, it's the opposite. And for now, it's what works for me. Maybe in 6 months from now, it might change. But a lot of it is just like trial and error and just being patient with yourself and like giving yourself grace when you're figuring out what's going to make you the most productive during the day. I also feel like routines are a form of like self-preservation because in a way you're planning your day out based on everything that you need to do, all the goals that you need to achieve, whether you're working at a job or working for yourself. I think that it's important to have a routine so that you don't lose your mind or like feel overly stressed out because you already know what you're gonna do, you already know what's gonna happen next. So I think the consistency is something that everyone can benefit from. Because I know, at least for me and Zach, that consistency is something that helps us so much in bringing you guys the best videos, in creating content, in furthering our own goals. So even though we live separately and we do separate things, it always comes back and relates to those principles. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it inspired you to set your own routine or to follow through with your routine tomorrow, maybe, hopefully. Definitely let us know what you guys think about these types of videos. We definitely want to have a mixture of sit down as well as like vlog style type videos. We'll also have a couple new wedding updates in the next few videos because I'm in the process of planning my bridal brunch. So like there's going to be a lot of content, a lot of stuff surrounding that. Super excited for that. So thank you guys so much for watching and we'll see you next Sunday.